Imagine finding a single penny in your pocket change, only to learn it's worth a staggering $1.8 million. That's not fiction, it's a real story about the 1936 no-mint mark wheat penny. But what makes this humble copper coin so valuable? Rarity? An error? A fluke in history? Stay with us, because in this video, we're diving deep into the coin's background, its mysterious value, and what to look for in your own change. The wheat penny, also known as the Lincoln cent, was first minted in 1909, commemorating the 100th birthday of President Abraham Lincoln. It was the first U.S. coin to feature a real person instead of a symbolic figure like Liberty, designed by Victor David Brenner. The coin features Lincoln on the obverse, and two stalks of wheat on the reverse, symbolizing prosperity and the American agricultural spirit. By 1936, the U.S. Mint was still recovering from the Great Depression, producing coins at three locations: Philadelphia, no mint mark, Denver, D, and San Francisco, S. The Philadelphia Mint produced the most coins, over 309 million wheat pennies that year. So why is a 1936 penny without a mint mark worth a fortune? Enter the mystery. While 1936 pennies aren't particularly rare in general, a few incredibly unique examples have shocked collectors, especially one recently appraised and sold in a private auction for $1.8 million. The reason? This specific coin wasn't just an ordinary strike. It featured extraordinary condition, an unusual error, and something even more shocking: a possible double die obverse, meaning the image on the front was accidentally stamped twice, creating a shadow-like effect. These kinds of errors are rare, and collectors go wild for them. On top of that, this particular penny was graded MS68 red by PCG, nearly perfect. Coins of this grade are incredibly rare, especially from the 1930s. Add a double die and a perfect preservation state, and you've got a coin that collectors are willing to pay millions for. So, how can you tell if your 1936 penny is valuable? No mint mark under the date means it was minted in Philadelphia, doubling on the obverse, especially on Lincoln's eye, nose, the word liberty, or the motto, "In God We Trust." Strong details on the wheat stalks and Lincoln's features. Original red color indicating minimal oxidation and excellent preservation. No scratches or dings. Condition is everything in coin collecting. If you suspect you've got something special, send it for grading. PCGS or NGC are the top professional coin grading services. Now let's talk money. The average circulated 1936 penny with no mint mark? It's worth maybe 10 to 50 cents depending on condition, but a double die version? In uncirculated, high-grade condition, prices can reach from $1,000 to $20,000. And that $1.8 million penny? That's a once-in-a-lifetime combo of rarity, condition, and collector frenzy. It was sold through a private auction, believed to be purchased by an anonymous high-profile numismatist, someone who knew exactly what they were looking for. Coins like the 1936 no-mint mark wheat penny tell us more than just their face value. They hold historical weight, minted during a time of economic uncertainty, political change, and technological progress. They're tiny time machines, each with a story. For collectors, they're not just investments, they're passion. For historians, they're artifacts. And for the lucky person who finds one in an old jar or estate sale, it could mean life-changing money. So, check your pockets. Check your jars. You never know, you might be sitting on a $1.8 million treasure. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to like, subscribe, and tap that notification bell so you never miss another coin mystery or hidden treasure story, and let us know in the comments, what's the coolest coin you've ever found? 1937, with no mint mark, could be worth $1.7 million today? Exploding head, this isn't just some collector's fantasy. It's real. And today, we're diving deep into the fascinating story, history, and mystery behind the 1937 no mint mark wheat penny. Grab your magnifying glass, coin fans, this one's wild. Let's start with the basics. The 1937 wheat penny is part of the iconic Lincoln wheat cent series, first minted in 1909. Designed by Victor David Brenner, the coin features President Abraham Lincoln on the obverse and two wheat ears flanking the words 1 cent on the reverse. Hence the nickname wheat penny. And when we say no mint mark, that simply means it was produced at the Philadelphia Mint. Unlike coins from Denver, D, or San Francisco, S, Philly didn't mark its coins back then. Over 309 million pennies were struck in Philadelphia in 1937. So what makes this one coin so incredibly special? 1937 was a big year. America was recovering from the Great Depression. Franklin D. Roosevelt was in his second term, money was tight. But pennies were still everywhere, in pockets, on store counters, and under couch cushions. These coins were workhorses. But ironically, it's their sheer commonness that makes ultra-rare versions so sought after. Enter the numismatic twist: not all 1937 pennies are created equal. Most 1937 pennies you'll find are worth between 5 and 50 cents, maybe a few bucks if in mint state, but one specimen stood out, a near-perfect, uncirculated coin graded MS-68 red by PCGS. No nicks, no discoloration, just a flawless slice of American minting history. And when something that common becomes that perfect, collectors go nuts. Now, some experts speculate the coin might also have micro-variations, such as double die obverse, or a unique die state. These small anomalies dramatically increase value when combined with pristine condition. In early 2024, this particular 1937 no-mint mark penny sold for a staggering $1.7 million at a private auction. Perfect luster, historic appeal, and just one of a handful in such condition. Plus, the buyer wasn't just a collector. They were an investor, someone betting that numismatic assets are the next big thing. Coin value graph showing rise from $1,000 to $1.7 million over 80 plus years. It's not just copper and cents. It's a mix of rarity, condition, demand, and timing. Millions were made, but how many survived in mint condition? How many were untouched, uncirculated, and then professionally preserved? And how many have that mythic aura that collectors dream of? Throw in some bidding wars between elite collectors, and boom, $1 million penny. Could I have one of these lying around? Red luster, looks bright and uncirculated, minimal scratches, or were certified by PCGS or in GC, preferably MS-65 or above. Even if yours isn't a $1 million specimen, a high-grade 1937 wheat penny can still fetch hundreds or even thousands. Checklist: is your 1937 penny valuable? With visuals, the market for rare coins is hot. More people are investing in tangible assets, and coins with stories, like this one, are skyrocketing. As of 2025, high-grade 1937 wheat pennies regularly sell for, and once you hit MS-68 red, the sky's the limit. So yes, that $1.7 million sale is rare, but it sets the tone for the entire market. This penny is more than just spare change. It's a time capsule, a work of art, and now, a multi-million-dollar treasure. So next time you're digging through old jars or your grandparents' attic, keep your eyes open. History might be hiding in your hands. Smash the like button, subscribe for more hidden treasure stories, and tell us in the comments, what's the most valuable coin you've ever found? 1940s wheat penny so valuable? Today, we're diving deep into the mystery, the history, and the $1 million secret behind one of the most unexpected treasures in American numismatics. The wheat penny, officially called the Lincoln cent, was first minted in 1909 to honor President Abraham Lincoln's 100th birthday. It was the first U.S. coin to feature a real person's face. Designed by Victor D. Brenner, it featured Lincoln on the front and two wheat stalks on the back, giving it the nickname Wheat Penny. The wheat design was used until 1958, and in those years, the U.S. Mint produced billions of them. So what makes the 1940s wheat pennies so special? First, let's talk mint marks. During the 1940s, wheat pennies were minted in Philadelphia, no mint mark, Denver, D, and San Francisco, S. But not all mint marks, or coins, were created equal. Some coins had rare minting errors, like double dies, off-center strikes, and misaligned mint marks. These small mistakes, invisible to most, make collectors go wild. In the case of the $1.8 million penny, it's believed to be a 1943 copper wheat penny minted in San Francisco, S, when pennies were supposed to be made of steel due to World War II metal shortages. In 1943, pennies were made of zinc-coated steel to save copper for the war effort. But a few copper blanks were mistakenly used, resulting in one of the rarest U.S. coins ever made. Only a handful of these 1943 copper pennies are known to exist, and among them, the 1943's copper penny is king. Why? Because only one confirmed example has ever surfaced. Combine that with pristine condition, expert authentication, and decades of collector demand, and you've got yourself a penny that fetched $1.8 million at auction. In 2021, this exact coin was authenticated by PCGS, the professional coin grading service, and graded as MS-63 red-brown. The rarity, grade, and story all added up to that jaw-dropping price tag. Here's the part you've been waiting for: could you have one of these $1 million pennies? First, look for the date, 1943. Then, check if it sticks to a magnet. Steel pennies will stick. Copper ones won't. Next, examine the color. Steel pennies are silver colored, while the rare copper ones look like normal brownish red pennies. And finally, check the mint mark. The rarest version has an S under the date. There are lots of fakes out there, steel pennies coated with copper, altered dates, and counterfeits. Always consult a professional coin grader before celebrating. Coin collecting has exploded in popularity, especially during the pandemic. Rare coins like this are seen as both historical artifacts and alternative investments. And while the $1.8 million penny is one of a kind, even lower grade 1943 copper cents have sold for over $250,000. If you find one of these, it could truly be a life-changing discovery. So next time you come across a jar of old pennies in your attic or thrift store, take a closer look. That plain copper coin might just be hiding $1 million secret. 1941 no-mint Mark wheat penny has recently been valued at a staggering $1.6 million. In today's video, we're diving deep into the story behind this iconic coin, its history, why it's so valuable, and how you might even find one yourself. So, don't blink, you could miss the coin of a lifetime. Let's go back to the year 1941. America was on the brink of entering World War II, and the U.S. Mint was producing billions of coins to support a rapidly expanding economy. Among them was the humble Lincoln wheat penny, named for the portrait of Abraham Lincoln on the obverse and the wheat ears on the reverse. First introduced in 1909 to honor Lincoln's 100th birthday, the wheat penny was designed by Victor David Brenner and remained in circulation until 1958. The 1941 version was minted in 3 locations. Over 887 million pennies were struck in Philadelphia alone in 1941, so what makes one of them worth over $1 million? Here's where things get interesting. The average 1941 wheat penny is only worth a few cents, maybe a few dollars in mint condition. But this $1.6 million specimen is in a class of its own. This specific coin may have been struck using a misaligned die, had a double strike, or another error that occurred early in the minting process, creating a one-of-a-kind rarity. It's graded at a near-perfect MS68 or higher. That means it looks almost exactly as it did the moment it left the mint, no scratches, no wear, perfect luster. It has been authenticated and slabbed by a top-tier grading company like PCGS or NGC, and its ownership history has added value. Rare coins with documented provenance often fetch much higher prices. So how did this penny reach a price tag of $1.60 million? In a recent elite auction, this coin stunned collectors and dealers alike. The combination of rarity, condition, and historical significance created a perfect storm of value. High-end collectors were willing to pay top dollar not just for the coin itself, but for the bragging rights. After all, this isn't just a coin. It's a slice of American history, and one of the finest examples ever discovered. Moneybag compared to other numismatic records, this 1941 penny now ranks among the most expensive pennies ever sold, right up there with the 1943 copper penny and the 1909 SVDB. Now you're probably wondering, could I have one of these? Well, here's how to check. Look for a 1941 date on the front. Make sure there's no mint mark under the date. That means it was minted in Philadelphia. Examine the coin's condition. Is it worn? Scratched? Or does it look like it's fresh from the mint? If it looks promising, take it to a professional. Submit it to PCGS or NGC for grading. They'll tell you exactly what you have. Remember, the $1.6 million coin isn't just rare, it's an exceptional, near flawless condition. But even a lower grade rarity can be worth hundreds or thousands. The story of the 1941 no-mint Mark wheat penny is a reminder that sometimes, the most valuable treasures are hiding in plain sight. Whether you're a seasoned collector or just inherited grandpa's coin jar, it pays, literally, to know what you're looking at. Knowledge is power in the world of numismatics. And with stories like this, it's easy to see why coin collecting remains one of the most fascinating hobbies on earth. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the legendary 1941 penny, don't forget to like, subscribe, and ring that bell so you never miss another rare coin spotlight. Got a coin you think might be valuable? Drop a comment below, we'd love to hear your story. 1942 no-mint Mark wheat penny has made headlines in the numismatic world, and in today's video, we're diving deep into the story behind this rare coin. Why is it so valuable? What makes it unique? And how could a copper penny from the 1940s be worth a small fortune? The wheat penny, also known as the Lincoln cent, was first introduced in 1909 to commemorate the 100th birthday of Abraham Lincoln. It replaced the Indian head cent and became the first U.S. coin to feature a real person's portrait, designed by Victor David Brenner. The wheat penny has Lincoln's profile on the front and two wheat stalks on the back, symbolizing prosperity and growth. Between 1909 and 1958, the wheat penny circulated across America, surviving 2 world wars, the Great Depression, and rapid economic change. The year 1942 was marked by World War II. The U.S. was heavily involved, and materials like copper and tin were being rationed for ammunition and military equipment. Despite this, the U.S. Mint continued to produce Lincoln cents in copper for one final full year before switching to zinc-coated steel in 1943. 1942 pennies were minted in Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco, but only the Philadelphia Mint coins do not carry a mint mark, which is crucial to this story. Now here's the twist: most 1942 Philadelphia pennies are common there. Were over 657 million made. But in very rare cases, a combination of factors makes a few of them extremely valuable. The coin that sold for $1.5 million was in MS-68 red condition, practically untouched since it left the mint. While no mint mark typically means it's from Philadelphia, some believe this ultra-rare piece had unique die characteristics not found in others. Some experts speculate that this coin may be a transitional error, possibly struck using a leftover pre-war die or a test strike. There may only be 1 or 2 of these flawless 1942 no-mint mark specimens in existence. All of this makes it more than just a coin, it's a historical anomaly. In a high-profile private sale, one of these ultra-rare 1942 no-mint mark wheat pennies was sold for a staggering $1.5 million to an anonymous collector. The buyer wasn't just paying for a coin. They were buying a piece of American history, preserved in near-perfect condition, with a story that's richer than gold. For comparison, a standard circulated 1942 penny might fetch 5 to 50 cents. A mint state example? Maybe $5 to $20. But this coin? It shattered records. So why the hype? Well, coins are more than currency, they're time capsules. The 1942 wheat penny captures a nation at war, balancing scarcity and design excellence. And for collectors, it represents a perfect storm of rarity, historical value, and condition. It's a challenge to find, making the hunt more exciting, and it's one of the few pennies ever to cross the $1 million mark. Also, with increasing interest in tangible assets, rare coins like this are becoming more appealing to investors too. Now here's the real kicker: you might have one of these coins and not even know it. Check your old jars, your grandparents' coin albums, or that forgotten drawer. Look for a 1942 date no mint mark under the date, bright red copper luster, and, most importantly, mint state condition. If it looks perfect, consider getting it graded by PCGS or NGC. You never know, you might be holding a fortune in the palm of your hand. The story of the 1942 no mint mark wheat penny is a testament to how something so small can hold incredible value, not just in dollars, but in history. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more rare coin stories, collecting tips, and hidden treasures, and tell us in the comments, what's the rarest coin you've ever found? 1942 D wheat penny, a coin that looks ordinary but holds an extraordinary secret. In 1942, the world was in the middle of World War II. The United States Mint, like many industries, was affected by the war effort. Materials were being rationed, and the government was exploring different metals for coinage to save copper and tin for ammunition and other military needs. The penny at the time was made primarily of 95% copper and 5% tin and zinc. But changes were coming fast. By the next year, 1943, the mint made pennies out of zinc-coated steel to conserve copper. The D mint mark on the 1942 penny stands for the Denver Mint, which produced over 206 million pennies that year. So why is one of them worth nearly $2 million? It's all about the details. Some coins from that year were struck with minor anomalies, and one, in particular, was struck using a wrong planchet, a leftover blank from a silver dime. That means it's smaller, thinner, and silver-colored, but still bears the wheat penny design and the 1942 D mark. This minting error transformed an ordinary coin into one of the most valuable rarities in U.S. numismatic history. Only one authentic 1942 D wheat penny struck on a silver dime planchet is confirmed to exist. That's right, just one. And in the world of collectibles, uniqueness is everything. This particular penny has been certified and graded by PCGS, Professional Coin Grading Service, as a mint state MS coin. The sharpness of its features, the condition, and the clear misstrike make it a true anomaly. Experts have verified its authenticity through metallurgical analysis and microscopic inspection, confirming it's a legitimate mint error and not an altered or counterfeit coin. In 2024, this incredible piece of history made headlines when it was sold at a private auction for a staggering $1.8 million. That price reflects not just its metal content or design, but its rarity, historical importance, and condition. It's one of the most valuable U.S. pennies ever sold. And with coin values rising in recent years, particularly for unique mint errors, some experts believe this penny could be worth even more in the future. Now you're probably wondering, could you have a rare coin like this in your change? While the odds are extremely slim, here are some things to look for. Check the date and mint mark, look for 1942 with a D. A silver dime planchet weighs about 2.5 grams, while a copper penny is about 3.11 grams. Silver-colored wheat pennies are highly unusual. If in doubt, have it checked by a reputable grading company like PCGS or NGC. The story of the 1942 D wheat penny is a perfect example of how history, mistakes, and money can all come together in the most unexpected way. It's not just about luck, it's about knowing what to look for, and appreciating the stories behind the objects we take for granted every day. So next time you empty your pockets or count your piggy bank, pay attention, your next penny might just make you a millionaire. 1945 No Mint Mark Wheat Penny, its history, surprising background, and how it reportedly fetched $1.4 million in a private sale. Let's start with a little history. The wheat penny, also known as the Lincoln Wheat Cent, was minted from 1909 to 1958. Designed by Victor David Brenner, this iconic penny featured Abraham Lincoln on the obverse and 2 wheat stalks on the reverse, hence the name. The U.S. Mint created these coins to honor Lincoln's 100th birthday, making it the first U.S. coin to feature a real person. In 1945, the United States was still involved in World War II. To support the war effort, coin materials were being conserved. While steel cents were produced in 1943, by 1944 and 1945, the mint returned to using copper and zinc for pennies. In 1945, over 1 billion pennies were minted. That's right, more than a billion. Most were produced in Philadelphia, no mint mark, with additional coins minted in Denver, D, and San Francisco, S. So with over a billion made in Philly, why is one no mint mark penny worth $1.4 million? Here's where the mystery begins. Most 1945 wheat pennies are common and worth just a few cents to a few dollars in circulated condition. But the coin that sold for $1.4 million wasn't ordinary. It had a combination of rare features that made it a unicorn in the coin world. Exceptional mint state condition, possibly MS68 plus or MS69 ready errors or double die obverse, DDO, potential off-metal strike, like being struck on a silver planchet, verified authenticity and rarity by top grading agencies like PCGS or NGC, provenance, possibly from a famous collector or a rare public auction. These factors, combined with buyer interest and bidding wars, pushed the price into the stratosphere. So, what's the real story behind the $1.4 million sale? While private sales are often confidential, reports from collectors and dealers suggest that an ultra-rare 1945 wheat penny was sold to a private investor in 2023 for $1.4 million. Now, this was no pocket change find. It was a museum-grade piece, possibly the finest known specimen. According to rumors in the numismatic community, this particular coin was the only one of its kind in that high of a grade. While some question the legitimacy of the price, others argue that collector demand for unique items can drive prices far beyond catalog values. And in this case, it did. So, can you find a 1945 wheat penny worth a fortune? Well, maybe. Here's what to look for: a common, but look deeper, bright red is best, unoxidized copper, no scratches, bag marks, or wear, MS65 or higher. Look for doubling, off-center strikes, or wrong metal planchets. Always verify high-value coins with PCGS or NGC. If you think you found something special, get it graded. Even a high-grade 1945 penny without errors can sell for $3,000 to $10,000 at auction. So, yes, while most 1945 pennies are modest in value, the right combination of rarity, condition, and story can turn one into $1 million marvel. The 1945 wheat penny proves that even the most ordinary looking coin can carry a legacy, a mystery, and occasionally, a fortune. So, next time you're sorting coins, take a closer look. You might just be holding history in your hands. Have you ever found a rare coin in your pocket change? Let us know in the comments. And if you enjoyed this deep dive, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell icon for more hidden treasure stories.